I clearly lied. This is Ravecal. This is another Zelda randomizer video. If this is your first video, you are probably wondering why I just picked up the Ocarina. That is because, as I said, this is the Zelda randomizer. The randomizer changes the locations of every chest in the game, along with several other things like the rewards for beating each boss, which are normally heart containers, can be anything. Anywhere there's a normal dungeon item, most of the key locations, except for the ones that are in pots, everything gets tossed in the stew there, and it's all random. Other things that are changed. The required dungeons are different. Sometimes you need to do... you don't need to do the dungeons that require pendants most of the time. So you can just go and beat just the crystal dungeons, and the crystal dungeons are not the normal crystal dungeons. The prize packs from enemies are randomized. Items for that you get as rewards from NPCs, like Sahasrara and the Sick Kid, the Flute Boy, all of those get tossed in the pool. These enemies don't normally drop bombs, but we're really glad they do, because there's a spot on the way out of this dungeon that we'd have to come back to otherwise. My last run went very poorly, partially because I spent most of one of the videos, probably at least an hour, wandering around, actually more than that, probably close to 2 hours, simply because I missed a few chests, and that's what this does. It's all about knowing where all the stuff in the game is. It's about using that knowledge to find a good path, using the items that you have in the most efficient way you can. And I really enjoy it. If you didn't notice by the fact that I've made several of these, even after I got really frustrated. At this point, I kind of want a redemption run. I want to do well at this again, because my first one was okay. My second one was terrible. Well, out of the ones with commentary. And all things considered, I haven't had a really good run yet, and part of that's just because I'm not a speedrunner. I'm not somebody who's really good at this game. A lot of the races that I've watched with this, they usually take about a very good run is considered to be an hour and a half for them. And a lot of that's from small optimizations, like they can beat that guy up faster than I can. All the little things add up. Part of it's just because they know the game really well and don't have to stop and think as often, or don't maybe walk somewhere. Maybe they save and quit instead of walking. That sort of thing. So I'm never gonna get that good, but I think I can do a 2-hour run if I get a good seat. So, and if I'm not dumb. So, we're escaping with Zelda like normal, except for we've got bombs and a flute. The flute right away is really nice because, like I said, part of this is optimizing your movement, going places that you're not supposed to be able to get, and knowing where you can go with what items. The flute gives us several options right off the bat, and more importantly, as we're going through and checking different areas, we don't have to walk to them or save and quit between the Link's house and the sanctuary. You know, we can go right over to the witch's hut to get up to Zora's domain. We can get right up into Death Mountain without having to go through that first cave. There's some good options. But we have to get out first. That was totally on purpose. Yep. Can't prove otherwise. More bombs. I mean, I'm not complaining. We need a lot of bombs right off the bat, so that'll be good. I am fully aware that part of my slow time in this game is the fact that I have this natural inclination to fight all of the enemies on the screen and clear the screen before I continue. That is not the way you do it if you're trying to go fast, and that's okay, because it's not like I'm racing, it's not like I'm competing. Although, my friend Mike has challenged me to a race at some point, so we'll have to see whose Zelda knowledge reigns supreme. I'm just glad we're not playing Ocarina of Time in that case, because I'd lose. Okay, so we have some bombs, a lamp, and a flute to start out with. Most likely that's going to be all we get unless we happen to get something really nice from the sanctuary chest, but I'm not counting on that. More bombs. Why not? We do like bombs. Okay. We have to activate the flute before we can start using it. So we're not going to immediately warp over to the village, unfortunately. But we will be doing the village pretty much right away. We're going to go up here first. We're going to pull on this tree trunk because it drops things. It's random, whether it's rupees, bombs, arrows, magic, and if it was rupees, I'd be really happy. It's like a 20 rupee drop. We're gonna check real quick here. Okay. Speaking of 20 rupee drops, that little cavern is under the wood, under this tree that the lumberjacks are cutting down. It's only accessible if you fight and defeat Aghanim. It is the only thing, besides access to the Dark World, that you get from fighting Aghanim. So most of the time you don't have to do that fight. Okay, since we're at the very beginning and I want to get my 100, we're gonna do that. So we're doing Lost Woods real quick, and we checked the Aghanim chest. Or the woodcutter chest. Yeah, Aghanim's tower literally doesn't... It has, I think, one chest and a couple... And it's always a key. So, I don't think I mentioned that in this one. This game does have an internal logic to it. So, it prevents you from... It does what it can to prevent you from getting unwinnable scenarios. You know, if there are small keys, if there are locked doors in a dungeon, the keys will be in front of them. You know, it won't make you use the fire rod to get the fire rod. that sort of thing. So basically it ends up with this huge logic map, and each time you find something, like the hook shot, you have to know where you can go now with the hook shot. The hook shot's really good. That's one of the best items. If we get the, we just need to get like a... I was literally just going to say we need to get the Moon Pearl. I'm going to just assume this game is listening to me. So that gives us access to East Death Mountain. We don't have the Titan's Mitts. But we do have access to, I think, 7 chests in the Drop Cave, and then the one in the Spiral Cave. There's the base shield, which will be nice. It's not needed, but it's nice. I'm not very good with it regardless, so... Tons of arrows and rupees. Hopefully we'll get the bow early on. Perfect. The bottle salesman had a bottle. I don't think I've seen that happen. But that means that we can get the item from the sick kid because he requires you have a bottle before you get his item. Activate the flute right away. Get a duck. Or whatever it is. Pretty sure it's a duck. Or heart pieces. I wish that one would have been in a dungeon. As you saw there, it does refill your health when you get the 4th heart piece, so that's a thing to think about when you happen to find them. Like if you're really low on health in a dungeon, go somewhere where you know there's a lot of treasure chests, because if you happen to find a 4th heart piece, you're good. Staff of Samaria already. That's really nice. Okay. So that takes care of Kakariko. We're gonna go check the library. Heart container. Nice. Go get the race item. One of the other minor time saves is apparently checking this item before you get to it. Like going along the bottom and just checking it from the edge, like down here. I'm not sure why that would save time. I mean, it saves time if it's an unneeded item, but it seems minuscule. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go up here. By the way, the reason I'm grabbing rupees at this point is because I'm really close to 500. 500 lets you get the item from King Zora. We probably won't go do it right away, so I mean, honestly, I've got some, but... Okay. another piece of heart from the ice cave there. I'm gonna go ahead and hop back across here. We're gonna do Moldorm Cave next. Those crabs do 2 hearts of damage a shot, so we definitely want to make sure we're not getting hit by them. This is one of the best caves early on. It's got 5 chests. You do have to be careful because the Moldorms hurt. Having an item like Hookshot goes a long way, although they are really slimy and slippery. I don't know if they're actually slimy. They don't really look slimy, I guess. They are kind of worm things. Make sure you talk to the guy, not just pick up the chests. Magic Boomerang. I thought boomerangs were progressive. Oh well. Flippers. That's actually really nice. One of the things on this side of the map that you generally want to do is stop and check the item under the bridge if you can. We're gonna cut across here, get the 2 items out of the dam. I'm gonna try this neat little trick that I've been wanting to do with the Hookshot. So, one of the things in this version of the game is you can actually, while you're pushing a block, it is not treated as an obstacle. So the while it's in motion, basically, the animation makes it so you can move into its square. If you use an item at the same time, then you can clip through it for just a moment. It's a really neat little thing. Okay, we're gonna go up here first. Loop means Witch's Hut is an easy way to get to Zora, so we're gonna go up here, hit under the bridge. Looks like a bottle for a second, but it's not a bottle, it's another piece of heart. Lots of random heart pieces, that's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go straight up here. It's a little bit out of the... Whoop. I forgot, we can't do it that way. Just push left once to do that. Okay, so we're gonna go to this whirlpool, and that should take us... That's the wrong whirlpool. Like I said, I totally know what I'm doing. No. The whirlpool here? That one. This whirlpool should take us to Zora's domain. Yes. Without needing the gloves. And just to be clear, the logic engine in this game does keep in mind whether or not, like, as long as you have a way to get to a place, it doesn't matter if you have the normal way. So, for example, you can use the flippers in the whirlpool to get in here. Or you can use... Oh crap, I need 5. That's what you get for not paying attention, right? Oh my gosh. Well, it's good to know they got a crappy prize pack. Nope. I figured it was worth a shot to see if something really hurt them or stunned them. Looks like hookshot does a number on them, but it's not. By the way, as you just saw there, hookshot also clips through things. Heck. I'm not sure what just happened there. Well, my great plan seems to have faltered somehow. These guys seem to have really, really bad drop rates for rupees. So I guess I'll come back later. That's really too bad, because that's really out of the way. Unless I get the gloves. Yeah, these guys just keep dropping hearts. One of them dropped 1 green ruby once. Okay. Sorry, I'm meandering a bit because I don't want to admit that that I need to go back after I do some more farming. Okay. You know what? We're gonna do it. We'll admit we made a mistake. And head up to Death Mountain. There's no way we're not gonna find 4 rupees somewhere on Death Mountain. We are going back in this cave because the old man will give us an item. Okay. Dodge the little Goomba guys. Bomb upgrade is mediocre. Just to be clear, if I say an item isn't good, it's not because it's not useful, it's because it doesn't open a new area. The big thing we're looking for with all of this is something that opens up a new area. Right now, we don't have access to any of the dungeons. Fire rod. Okay. We do want that. If I can remember correctly, I think it's this drop off. Somewhere along the line here, we're gonna find an item that's gonna open up one of the dungeons, or it's gonna open up a path to the Dark World, and we're gonna go that route. I hope it is not Dark World first again, because that's annoying. Okay. We can't get the item on top of Spectacle Rock yet. I don't want to... I guess it's not that far. I probably should have just let myself die there. Speaking of... yeah, those little guys do 2 hearts of damage per hit. So, again, while you're green tunic, very low level, you know, only a few hearts, they hurt a lot. While doing some parts of the game out of order makes them easier because you're getting cool items and stuff, some of it makes it a lot harder because you're also fighting things with less equipment on occasion. More arrows. Yay. Okay. Mirror. Awesome. I guess we are going back to Spectacle Rock there. We will make a quick stop on the top half of Death Mountain there. As long as we're roughly in the neighborhood. To get the Spiral Cave item. And then we'll warp back over to the front side, where we can get the Spectacle Rock item now. And get into Tower of Hera if we want. We've got I think we've got everything we need for it. We'll have to... No, we've got everything we need. Let's see if we need to do Tower of Hera. It is a pendant dungeon, unfortunately. You can see that the only Light World dungeon we're going to need to do is Desert Palace. The Tower of Hera is really quick. And we're in the neighborhood, so I'm kind of thinking it's not a terrible idea. It is genuinely probably the fastest dungeon. Oh. I don't like that. Most of the time, getting the Master Sword early is indicative that you may have to fight Aghanim. So, on a good note, we have the Mirror, the Moon Pearl. So, as long as we've got a portal to the Dark World, we can do some exploring. The problem is we don't have a way to get to the Dark World except for this one spot at the top of Death Mountain. And it's not a good spot. It only gives you access to, I think, one extra item. And it's not one we want to do right away. It's the spiked cave that has... usually you have to go through with either the cape or the cane of Burna to prevent yourself from taking damage. It also requires the hammer. So, unless we happen to get the hammer right here, which we did not, it is just a normal heart piece. We do have Sahasrala's cave left. His hut. So, that may be in our near future as well. There's one of the other random little speedrun things there. The mirror. Cannot go downstairs yet because the keys are not in the normal order. So we just need to grab that on the way out, unless we're missing a dungeon item, in which case we don't. We do want the red switch with the blue up so that we can collect hearts later. Because I have that much faith in myself. It saves us from having to go down the second time. Yep. I screwed that up. That's actually a soft block there. If the orange pegs are up and you don't have the small key yet, and you fall down there, I mean, it's not like it's a big deal, but... Okay. So much for this being a short dungeon. You're supposed to be able to cross those. I'm not sure what happened there to stop me, but whatever. We're still almost done. Which, a couple minutes for Tower of Hera to potentially get a good item is worth it to me. Although this fight is going to be annoying. At least we've got Master Sword. That'll make it go a little faster. I think it's just like 3 hits? Maybe 4. Oh no. No, 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 no. Okay. We have the compass. Darn. Wait. No, if we've got the compass already, we don't have the basement. That means that the 2 items that are left are the key. So Muldromer dropped the small key to get in the basement and the map. So we're good. I'm afraid we're gonna have to fight Aghanim. It seems pretty likely. We don't have any gloves. We don't have boots, we don't have hammer. And gloves and hammer are the two ways that you get into the Dark World. Besides Aghanim. Aghanim also lets you into the Dark World. Although it's not in a great spot, but we've got the flippers and the hook shot, so we can pretty much explore the whole overworld in the Dark World. Haven't done Desert Cave, but that's kind of out of the way for one chest, so... let's do it. Go back to Zora's domain. I feel like this is gonna get us a lot more. I mean, it's a bit of a grind getting up the tower, but at least we've got the Master Sword, which you do need to get into the tower unless you have the cape. We've got the hook shot, which is another good, just generally good item for getting through these sections. Honestly, I might pull out the fire rod for some of this too, because that is a lot faster and safer than fighting those guys. That's the only chest, I believe, and it's a key, like I said. That is exactly what we needed. I lied, there's 3 keys, I think, then. That would be, but it's all, or 3 chests, that's all keys, though. God, I hate this maze. Don't need to fight those guys. Don't need to fight these guys. Continuing to not fight the guys, unless you have to. This one you do have to, and I totally didn't. I can't remember if it's always that guy or if it's always the last guy. But Pots killed those guys in one shot. Oh well. Don't have to kill those guys. nudge out of the way. Okay. Head up into Agadam's chamber. We don't need magic for it anyway, and instead of going up the stairs, it triggers when he goes high enough on the screen, so you can start around the chamber. Pretty sure they wouldn't use that strobe effect in most modern games. Just in case. That was not good. Yeah, for some reason the spins... Oops. For some reason the spin attacks seem to be more accurate with that. I don't know what it is. I'll need to remember that for the triple Aghanim fight too. There we go. And Dark World. We've got the Moon Pearl in the mirror, so we've really got all the access we need. Getting around easily at least. Regular boomerang. I'll grab it. Just in case I come back by, so I remember I got the item there. First things first. Wait, no, I don't have access to that. Crap. Access there. I'm trying to think of what I can actually get to without the hammer. Hammer and gloves get you a lot of access. I was kind of expecting the pyramid item might be one of them. I was kind of hoping it would be the first level gloves at least. See if I can get through this without boots. I think you can get up to that one chest. I know I can't do a couple of the things that you want to do later, but oh well. It does not look like I can. Yeah, it's sealed off pretty good. I'm just gonna hop up here and check what the bumper cave is. I really hate those things. I didn't know you could kill them in one hit with that hook shot. Now I know that. Looks like, so Mike mentioned to me that when he stunned stuff with a hook shot, it always dropped red rupees for him. When I'm stunning guys with a hook shot, it's always dropping hearts. So So I'm wondering if that's actually what the problem I was having with Zora was, and that's one of the things that gets randomized. Or if there's a formula to it or something. Okay, let's grab the Village of Outcast chest at least. Yes. It's always the second chest. They actually took out the randomization. You may have noticed that on Aghanim also. They took out the randomization on Aghanim, on the chest game, and the shovel game. Hammer. Still don't have access to much, but at least I've got to wait. That means I've got my... No, actually it doesn't give a lot of entrances. Most of the entrances to the Dark World you still need gloves. Most of them it's a combination. Blue mail is good. That makes surviving a little easier at least. This is not a great... Come on, game, you were supposed to give me a good seed. I really need gloves. Like, badly. Okay, let's do the shovel game. And the tree. The flute kit. It's always 15 digs. Just to be clear, one of the big things that I try and do when I'm doing this is don't run towards every single dungeon, because there are so many. Basically, it's better to keep going on the overworld than to do an incomplete dungeon that you're gonna have to come back to. I stopped at Hera because I was like, there's really nothing else up there until Turtle Rock. So it seemed like a good opportunity to maybe grab an item. Unfortunately, it ended up being, I think it was bombs. And it wasn't the green pendant. Otherwise, I would have been more concerned about finishing it. I didn't check. Speaking of... Okay. So, Palace of Darkness is not required. And actually, it looks like Desert and Thieves Town will give me the big bomb shop too. It's kind of too bad because I was thinking about Palace of Darkness as an option, but I think I'm gonna have to do Thieves Town and Skull Woods. I always forget to throw the bomb before I talk to the guy. There's a couple spots like that. It's just kind of a bad habit. Another bottle, we'll take it. Better than nothing. Still don't have the gloves. Which means I was actually closer the first time. We're gonna head up to Zora real quick, since we actually have the rupees now. And hopefully that will be something worthwhile. And then I think I'm actually gonna call it for now. Once I get this. I know I got the shield there. Second shield. Most of these Zelda videos have been about on par with this. I think my extra trip into Zora's Domain might have put this a little bit over my normal overworld time. Usually it takes about 45 minutes to get all of most of the overworld stuff taken care of. Zora ripped me off again. Glad I went on my way for that. Spent all that extra time on 20 rupees. I mean, there's no way I could have known. You don't know until you check. That's why you do it. Okay. So, I'm gonna cut it off for there. Or for now, rather. Hopefully you're still enjoying these. I know I am, although I'd really love to get a good seed at some point. Give me a like and subscribe. Check out the video I just posted for Regalia. I thought it'd be a fun thing to try showcasing a game instead of just playing it. So that's kind of what I was doing for playing like the first hour or so of a new tactical RPG and resource management game. So check that out. I'm really enjoying it, and we'll catch you next time.